welcome back to the Loopy Studio. And today I'm here with a brand new video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about all of the announcements from D23 this past weekend. Because there's a lot I want to talk about, a lot of cool movie announcements, TV show announcements, all stuff Disney related, and plus, I had to rearrange some stuff around, so this wasn't actually a planned video. Um, but I think there's enough to cover here, and I'm curious to get your guys' feedback on a lot of the new movies coming out from Disney. So just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I'm just gonna kind of read them off, share some brief thoughts on each announcement. So we have Moana 2, that is coming out in November, and I really like the first Moana, so I'm looking forward to this one. I'm glad that they're finally getting around to doing some sequels for that mid 2010s range, with this Inside Out 2, and Zootopia 2. They're finally starting to do those, and I'm really happy about that. And it says the focus of the sequel will be Moana's journey, searching nearby islands for other people. There'll be new villains. So yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to Moana 2 for sure. There's going to be a third Avatar film. I haven't watched those. I'm sure I will someday. But there's a new Pixar film called Monster Jam that's coming out soon. Something similar to Cars. So it sounds like I guess they're not going to be doing Cars 4, at least not right now. So I guess they're kind of continuing. I don't know that kind of movie with the Monster Jam. Again, we don't really know anything about it, but that does sound interesting. Um, Toy Story 5 is coming out in summer of 2026. This is interesting. I really like the Toy Story movies, and I really thought the fourth movie was a natural conclusion to the Toy Story franchise, so I was really surprised when I found out they were doing a fifth movie. Now, it's not like it's super surprising because it's money and Toy Story is popular, but from a story standpoint, I was really confused when they announced it. So we know that it's going to be about the toys like Woody, Buzz, Jesse, Bo Peep, all of them. They're going to be going against modern technology because I guess Bonnie's going to pay more attention to or play more on her iPad than with the toys. I mean, I get what they're trying to do there. Again, I think that's kind of stupid. Like, why? I mean, I don't know. It's I think it's one of those hit or miss things. Like, it could be such a hit because it's such an issue that we deal with nowadays with kids younger and younger growing up in a world full of technology, and whether that's good or bad, I think that's a big issue. Um, Now I think the main problem is that they don't need to make a fifth movie off of this, and it's probably not going to be that good. But they could surprise me. We'll see with Toy Story 5. Again, it's very hit and miss, but it's still going to be a while until it comes out, summer of 2026. So I don't think it's a huge issue. It's definitely not on my radar at the moment. So we also have Elio, and this is coming in summer of 2025. It's about an 11-year-old boy named Elio Solis who accidentally becomes the intergalactic ambassador of Earth after making contact with aliens. Elio will travel the universe and ultimately learn who he's meant to be. Sounds like an interesting plot. I do think some of these original movies, it's kind of hard to judge how they're going to be because I think we don't really know enough about them. Even with the synopsis, I still can't really make an honest opinion. I mean, I think it sounds interesting, but I think it's a lot easier to kind of judge the sequels beforehand because we already have an idea of what the overall plot or the character. We know who the characters are. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Where we don't know the characters for these new movies, but that doesn't mean they're going to be bad. I mean, I'm sure I'll still watch Elio when it comes out. So that's summer 2025, and I think that's the next original Disney movie. I know they're trying to do more of those, but I think there was a bit of a time where they were kind of just doing the originals, and I'm glad they're kind of going back and forth between the sequels and the originals because I think there needs to be a balance. You want that nostalgia, but you also want to create original content that could be developed more in the future. So I think they're heading in a good direction when it comes to that balance. But speaking of sequels, Incredibles 3 is coming, and I was not expecting this. I think that is really cool, though. I'm looking forward to it. I love the first two Incredibles movies. So fingers crossed that it will be good. Another sequel coming out is Zootopia 2. And I loved Zootopia. In fact, every time I see a bunny, I'm like, Judy Hopps. Like, there's just something about that movie that has really stuck with me, and the relationship between Judy Hopps and Nick Slick, the fox, I really liked, and in a strange way, I think they were like really cute together. And um, apparently, they're going to be battling against a snake villain. Um, so that's interesting. I don't know. I think it sounds good. That's going to be in November of 2025. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I really like the first one, just the dynamic of their relationship and the town and all of that. Such a great movie. That might be one of my favorite Pixar movies. So I'm really looking forward to the second one. There's a new Pixar film called Hoppers coming out in 2026 about a beaver and a human who swap places. That sounds stupid to me, but again, it's kind of hard to judge. We just don't know enough about it. Um, Frozen 3 comes out in 2027. Um, and I like both Frozen 1 and Frozen 2 a lot. In fact, it's really hard for me to say which one I like better because they are both really good. I have a high feeling, or I have a good feeling that Frozen 3 will also be good. I do think the one issue I have is once you hit the third movie, it can start to feel like it's outstaying its welcome. I think the second movie is perfectly fine because you either have a really good movie or a bombs. The third movie means that you had a successful first two, but you have to be careful not to overdo the plot. So I do think Frozen 3 will probably have to take a totally new direction. And from what I read, that's what they're doing. It sounds like they're going to be making a Frozen 4. Um, and that's interesting. So it sounds like there's going to be a Frozen 3 and a Frozen 4 doing a nuke plot. And I think that's really cool. It's probably what's needed. Again, I think Frozen 1 and Frozen 2 kind of had like a good storyline throughout. And I think they probably have to have a new plot line so it doesn't feel like totally old or overdone. So I'm definitely looking forward to Frozen 3. So that's 2027. And then moving on to kind of like some different types of stuff. We have the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. That's in 2026 in May. That's going to be a lot of fun. And, I wasn't a big fan of season 3 of The Mandalorian, but I do think this has a lot of potential to be good. And we'll see how they kind of tie in the Ahsoka plotline into it. And how all that works. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think because we're kind of getting this instead of season 4, I think this will be better. I'm looking forward to watching it. And then we have the Freaky Friday sequel. And I really actually want to watch the original with Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, Chad Michael Murray. So they're doing Freakier Friday. So I will try my best to watch the original sometime to look forward to that reboot. Lilo and Stitch live action is coming out next summer. I have mixed feelings in the live action remakes personally, but we'll see whether this is good or not. I mean, he looked fine, the Stitch character, like the live action version, so we'll see. There's going to be an Inside Out Disney Plus series focusing on. Wait, let's see. Yeah, so yeah, that's going to be interesting. Kind of like continuing the story a little bit, but not really kind of like focusing on like a smaller aspect of like the brain itself. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And whether we get an Inside Out 3 or not, I don't know. But we're getting Skeleton Crew. It's a new Star Wars series that's on December 3rd. We'll see. It's a completely new story, so it does look like it's going to be more like kid/teenage focused. So that does interest me a lot as a teenager, getting like a new story in there. Of course, Andor season 2. I still need to watch season 1. Ironheart, Daredevil Born Again, with John Bernthal, aka Shane from The Walking Dead. He'll be in that. And that's all that this list says. I think that did kind of cover the major announcements from D23. I mean, there was like some Marvel animation stuff, nothing super serious, that was dropped yesterday, but that's kind of like the bulk of it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of wrap things up here. I'm really looking forward to a lot of these movies, especially Zootopia 2, Moana 2, Incredibles 3, Frozen 3, the Inside Out little show. I think all that's gonna be really good. You know, Mando and Grogu. I think they might be redeeming themselves a bit. I don't think Disney was ever particularly bad. It just there was definitely like a weaker season with just some not great movies slash sequels slash live action remakes. So I'm glad they're doing more of a balance with that. And it says here, yeah. So one other thing, Snow White live action is coming out in March. So that is the next Disney. That'll be the next Disney project after the Mufasa movie. So Mufasa, then Snow White, um, and then the summer we'll have like Lilo and Stitch, Elio, a couple other things. So yeah, definitely looking forward to all of that. So comment down below which things on this list are you looking forward to. Did I miss anything? Comment down below, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.